We have returning Judge Axar, who's here with us today.
You want to take a couple seconds to tell us about yourself, Axar?
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's not even there.
There he is.
He's like this blank window. Wait, here he comes. He's
Axar,
got a lamp with him.
But he cannot hear us yet. I see he has no earphone on. Oh, there he is. Axar, tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name is Aksar, and I am an engineer with a background in mobile, social media, and browser extensions, and doing some advising, and very exciting to be a part of this competition.
Good to have you here. And Eve, can you tell us something about yourself, another returning judge?
I work with the City of Austin doing economic development, helping to bring companies to Austin and helping the ones we have to grow. I run our emerging technologies program, kind of a cross between a business consultant, matchmaker, and cheerleader for startups. And I work with startups all day, every day, just about.
Can you tell us the exact temperature of Barton Springs?
It's like 66, I think.
Thank you.
Well done. And Mark, your turn. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, I'm Mark Dangard. I'm work with Sony Corporation. I'm focusing on the process of innovation there. I come from the world of startups. I was an advisor to startups for many years before joining Sony in July last year. And very excited to be here.
We're really glad to have you, Mark.
And Jason.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Jason Womack. I'm an author and an advisor on productivity and workplace performance. And I also work as an advisor at the Ventura Ventures Technology Center, our local incubator here in Ventura, California.
Wonderful. And now, your first victim, startup. Now, bear in mind that there's a lot of excitement behind this competition portion of what Agora Startup Idol is, but the competition isn't everything. A huge part of what we are is a safe, wonderful place for startups to get together and encourage each other, for the public to come together and encourage and help startups, and for investors to find startups that other people don't know about. So
and just have fun.
Oh, I remember
I've
fun.
Been having fun.
All right, our first presenter.
Go
ahead and introduce him, and I'm going to try out working this timer. You're going to have 2 minutes to make your presentation.
My news is with Christian.
2 minutes, Christian. Go, baby, go.
Hi, I am Christian. My news is basically selects for you the most important news about the topics that interest you. For now, we just developed a test version, and you have to input your interest, and then you get all the news about the most important news about the topics you like. It's important to note that I said the most important news because the current solution that is out there, maybe there are some solutions, but just do a simply categorization.
Christian?
Yes?
Guys, sorry. We're going to have to implement the telephone solution with Christian. He's we've got the situation where the internet is bogged down. Christian, we're going to go back a couple of years in technology.
Yes.
Something that works a little better. Pardon me?
Oh, he's coming in from the UK.
What? Where are you coming in from, Christian?
From Switzerland. Switzerland.
From Switzerland. Okay, but it's not audible. You can't understand, say, the words-ish. It's not just a lag problem. It's the stutter that we had before. So what we're going to try to do, Christian, is I don't remember if we did this with you before, but we're going to try to call you on the telephone. Okay, we've got a team of top scientists working on this right now. We're going to drill a hole through the internet and call you on the telephone through it. So hopefully you're near a telephone. It should ring pretty soon. And can you hear me now? Can you hear what I'm saying to you?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay.
Okay, good. And so we're working on finding your phone.
Hi.
Yeah, let's go to Sean.
And if you don't mind, oh, wait, looks like we're through.
Hi.
Well, that's because it was 2 minutes stop. Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Would you like to switch us to our next contestant for the time being, Greg? Oh, we've got you. We've got you, Christian. We're moving forward.
All
hopefully we'll never get this down as cold as a system, because when you get everything locked down and you nail down your cables and you screw all your equipment into the racks, you've given up on improving your system. We're going to keep improving our system, and that means it's never going to be the same twice.
There you go. There you go.
It will get better, though. Okay.
Right.
Well, meanwhile, let's see. We'll talk about the next contestants that are coming up. Or, go ahead.
Well, you know who we have coming in today at the wrap-up program is some visitors that we had here earlier from Japan.
Oh, yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah.
From Tokyo,
Tokyo.
Otaku.
500 Startup, it was called.
500 Startup. And they're from Tokyo Otaku Mode. They've got 3 million fans on their Facebook page. And they were banging around here.
And they decided to put this on their 3 million fan Facebook page. And Axar made sure that happened. And so it's going out to 3 million people. Tune in today. So we'll see.
I think we're going to have some interesting stuff. Hopefully they'll bring those mind-controlled ears. Now, I'm not kidding. We had Cindy earlier wearing ears that were reading her biofeedback.
And I am a biofeedback student, so I was able to control the ears.
Control the ears.
It was great.
Cindy did the best of all of us.
Yes, we will have video later, perhaps, if you're good. Okay.
Okay.
Are we ready? Is Christian ready? Yes.
Okay.
Christian,
can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes, I hear you.
We've got a little echo. Maybe we can trim that out. Now, those of you who are judging, it's possible that you may be able to eliminate echo sometimes by muting other judges' little speakers on your screen. Sometimes that helps eliminate echo. So if you have trouble hearing, try that. All right, Christian, we'll give you another shot. We'll stop you if we can't hear you, but if we can hear you, you just keep going. And start anytime you like.
Yes. Hi, I'm Christian. I am online now. Yes. Yes. Hi, I'm Christian. From My News is basically My News is selected for you the most important news about the topics that interest you. For now,
oh, and turn your speaker off.
Okay, stop. Okay, stop. It's not going to work. It's not quite working. We've got two ideas.
You will get the most important news about the topics delivered directly to you.
Okay.
And it's important to note that I said just the most important news, not just the news about the topics you like.
Can you turn off what's coming in through the video? Because we're still getting the bad video on top of the phone.
Is news selection about the topics and don't care about if news is important or not. What we at My News are trying to achieve is to identify not just the news about the topics you like, but even try to take out the most important news that you don't have to miss. And all of this we try to do it extremely user-friendly because, just as I said, trying to do personalized news, there's a lot of RSS readers, but the solution are just too complex for an average user to get out a value. So in the end, My News will be maybe just one click, maybe connect with Facebook, and then you already start having your personalized news that's becoming better over time when you're using, and we're getting more information about you. Just for the moment, it's a few months, we are trying to build this test version, and we are trying to look for a seed round, 2 million seed round to speed up a little bit the development, and then take a great launch this summer. So that's all that My News is. I hope you might try it and have feedback for us and try to deliver the best news that you have.
All right,
okay.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask our judges. Okay, first of all, can you hear me, judges?
Yes.
Okay, were you able to hear Christian?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Okay, listen, we need to be able to try this again. Greg, we cannot hear him. Will you please put on headphones of some kind so that you can monitor what the results of our hookup is? Okay, we're working on the technique, Christian. I hope that this works for you rather than against you. I hope that this acts as practice and isn't too annoying. We need to test this and see if we can get a good signal from the phone and then without an echo back through the system. And Greg, you need to listen to it to make sure that it's up to your standards. Okay, Christian, will you please test a little bit? Just give a few words. Oh, and Christian, are your speakers off on your computer?
I have the headphones, so it's no speaker.
Okay, it's not quite. Can you boost the volume that's coming out of your phone a little bit? Push the up button and make it louder. Coming out of the phone into the system.
No, I don't have.
I think it's getting caught in the noise gate. Oh, I'm
sorry,
sorry,
I
Christian.
can give you maybe another phone number, a fixed line.
Echoing.
Maybe it will
Like
work
3 times.
what's better.
His audio is definitely coming from his computer, not the phone. The phone shows no communication.
Yeah, I'm getting that impression too. That we're getting the interruptions. The audio is coming in from the phone with the interruptions through the internet. It appears.
And some feedback with his speakers. It seems like a little bit.
Okay, try again, Christian. We'll get this. Thanks, Mark and Eve. We and you viewers. We know your time is valuable. Christian, give us another little test, and let's see if we can zero in on this.
Test.
Test, please.
Yes. You hear me?
We can hear you. We still have a little echo. If we can track down where the echo is coming from, guys.
But maybe the echo because I came to in the system with the computer.
Judges, will you please
But
all,
you
just for a moment, click on your microphone icons and mute all your microphone icons, just for a bit. Okay? Now, Christian, let's hear you speak again.
Oh, there. Go ahead, Christian.
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yeah, that's good. Let's give that a shot. Okay, try again.
With the tip?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Christian. At the time I tried this, okay, my news is select for you the most important news about the topics that interest you. For now, we'll finish a test version where you can input the topic you like, and then you will get the most important news about this topic that you selected delivered directly to you. It's important to note that I said the most important news, not just the news about the topic you selected. Just because other servers that I want to deliver you maybe a selection of news from the topics you like, but no one of them is selecting the importance of the news. Just what we are mining are trying to achieve is to identify the most important news and not do a simple categorization. We try to do this extremely user-friendly because a different solution out there for years been not already very complicated. That it's difficult to adapt the market.
He's getting good at the pitch.
And because this, the idea is just maybe just log in with Facebook Connect and we start giving you personalized news, and then it becomes better as long as you use it. We currently started a few months ago, since December, January, developing this test version, and now we're taking for a 2 million feature to speed up a little bit the development and make a great launch this summer. Hope you heard me, and it went fine now.
Christian, that was. I am so sad to say it did not work again. We'd like to try just one more experiment, which is, will you please go back? Let's forget the phone and see if maybe we've got better bandwidth on the internet again. So let's go back
Yes,
to
okay.
what we had. We're going to hang up the phone and try once again just through the internet video. So no more phone. Thank you. And talk to us a short amount through the internet, and let's see if we get lucky.
Christian, my advice to you is to talk in 5 to 10 second. My advice to you is to talk in 5 to 10 second bursts, and then to take a 2-second breaks to make sure that what you said has caught up to us, and then keep going.
It's a really good idea.
Can't hear it. Okay,
He's ready to go.
go ahead.
Yes.
Can't hear him at all now.
Well, yeah, we just lost him for a second.
Yeah.
My news is select for you the Yes. My news is select for you the most important news about the topics that interest you. For now, we just have developed our first test version. We just simply put in what you like, and then you will get the most important news about these topics that you selected. It's important to note that I said the most important news and not just the news about the topics you selected. This is because there are different other servers around that select the news from your topics, but no one of this is selecting the importance of this news. What we at MyNews are trying to achieve is to identify the most important news and not just do a categorization. All of this we try to do it extremely user-friendly in order that it became very easy, not RSS reader where you have to search your news feeds, your different RSS feeds together, but you just put in your categories you like, or at the end it should be just log in maybe with Facebook, and we start delivering you the news based on the topics you like, and it becomes better the more you use it. For now, we started.
This online is fantastic. This is a great idea. I actually read about this online. I thought it was a great idea.
Okay.
My mom does that for me. She like reads all the newspapers and cuts out the ones I'd like. So you could be my new mom. That's what I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Christian, I am so sorry that our technology is not keeping up with us. We're going to move on to our next contestant, and we will figure out some way to treat you fairly.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we were not able to hear him.
Did any of the judges hear it? No?
No. Okay.
X-Card?
Christian, we will have to figure out a way to bring you back.
Only parts.
Okay.
We will bring
Yeah.
you back in at another time, and we will try to make this work in a fair way.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, we just have to move on. And I'm very sorry for putting you through this, and all of you, but we live and learn, and we'll try to make this work out well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming on, and don't let this be discouraging to you. You did a great job.
Maybe we'll just slide him through to the next round
All
or
right.
something. Let's go to Sean. Oh, it's Patrick now. Patrick
From
with
Cytosoft.
Cytosoft Corp. Need the glasses. And there he is.
Hello.
Hi, Patrick.
Hello.
Hello.
And we can
we
hear you
very well.
Thankfully.
Thank you. And we don't see any video yet. Are you sending video?
Let's see. I was sending video, but it stopped when they did the presentation.
Okay. Then do me a favor, please. Go to the gear at the top of your page.
Okay.
Click out for your video settings. Click to avatar, and then click back to video, and hopefully that'll jumpstart the system again.
Got it. It's on, I think.
Well, then
Can you see me now?
no. Listen.
Nope.
Okay, boot out Axar for a second. If we're at our limit of videos. Greg, we need him in so we can boot out a judge. If we don't need to see all the judges. Sorry, there's a surprise limitation on the software that we can only run 5 videos right now. So we're gonna, yes, we're adjusting, and we'll try bringing you back in, Patrick. Let's see what we got. Greg,
Okay.
are you on it? We've got top men on this, top men. If we could find a top woman, it'd be done by now. Ooh, it's looking promising. I see Greg he's got his work face on. There actually is no Greg. We're just hoping it'll fix itself. Jason!
Jason's back.
How did that happen? Okay, Jason came back in, Greg. Yes, do that.
Yes, go ahead and put Axar off or whoever. That would be great.
Put us off. We'll take
or
it. Or
us. That's fine. Okay, there he is.
There he is, and he looks great.
Yes. And,
Patrick.
And
Excellent.
you have 2 minutes.
Are you
Let's
ready?
hear it.
Sure. Go.
Go.
Okay, a little about me. This is my 4th startup. My previous startup, I raised over $20 million of venture capital money. I have over 20 years experience running software teams. Basically ran teams up to 100 software and electrical engineers. I have 48 published patents and 5 of them in this technology. So about the technology, people that see the technology refer to us as the Google Earth of the Milky Way galaxy, with the added benefit of being able to allow hundreds of thousands of people to travel around and see what's really out there at the same time. So there's a lot of social media content there. So we've actually mapped the entire Milky Way galaxy, every star, every planet, and put it on the cloud for people to actually go and experience. So the idea was about 3 years ago, we actually started the company, my co-founder and I, and the idea was if I ask you what social media companies have in common, people usually say 2 main things. 2 main ingredients to a social media company is number 1, you share personal content, and number 2, it's about low tech. So what we decided to do is take that personal content and let people experience high tech. So with our background in high tech, we actually fused social media with high tech and personal content and allowed people to go and travel through the galaxy and claim stars and share personal content with each other. We actually have the platform all running, the technology's running. We raised $1.5 million to date. All of that was in the technology. It's on the cloud and running. All the business systems are online. We just signed a $250,000 PO with a company. So we actually have both a B2B and a B2C business model. What's in it for the investor is basically we're looking to raise $500,000, and in that $500,000, that's going to be used to actually do marketing and PR and actually push us in front of everybody. And we're looking at basically a 4x exit in about 3 years, which is a very conservative estimate.
Perfect. Exactly 2 minutes. Well done.
Well done. Well, I'd like to hear from our judges. Who do you pick first, Cindy?
Let's go with Jason.
Oh, Jason, could you unmute your speaker? I probably should never have brought that up. Unmute your microphone.
Yeah.
And now, Jason Womack
And now.
here. That's a little bit better. Okay, so give me just a little bit framework. This is the first one that I've sat in as a judge on. So what do I share, or what can I share?
Tell you what, let's start with Eve, and she'll demonstrate.
That's good.
What we do is we ask a couple of questions just for a minute or so for each judge. So go ahead, Eve.
Patrick, what's your revenue model? How are you making money?
So the revenue we have is both basically from tangible and virtual goods direct for the consumer, as well as a revenue share model with the B2B idea. So we actually have a licensing in place with 2 major companies. One of them is confidential, and so we've actually have a revenue share model, licensing. So both licensing model for B2Bs as well as direct to the consumer, e-commerce.
And how many users do you have right now?
We just actually launched a test launch at Christmas, and we had another launch for Valentine's, and so far we have roughly 6,000 registered users, and we got really some good results with our latest partnership with American Greetings, which is the company that runs the greeting card company. They had 45,000 registered users use a Valentine's card with our actual with our model in it. So the people are actually sending e-stars, and it was really big. We got 788 Facebook posts. I'm
going to have to cut you off and move on to Axar.
Yeah, so do you see your business as basically providing this content? as in like this 3D content for people who are trying to build gift cards and stuff like that? Or do you see yourself as sort of a, an experience or a second world type of a product?
Yeah, good. So what we're doing right now is we have this platform that's agnostic to the demographic. That's why we chose the Milky Way galaxy. Everyone can relate to the Milky Way galaxy. And number two, it's sort of agnostic business model. So in our first commercial release of the product 2 years ago, it was actually released to the second largest stool photography company in North America, and they used the product to make an educational game for their kids. So what our forte is actually to create the infrastructure necessary to get everybody in. So we have the API, and a game company, actually there's two of them we're talking to right now, they're interested in using that to actually make virtual worlds for kids. And so we don't have to worry about getting into the content. It's more of supplying the actual infrastructure. And that's nice because it gives us the ability of using the platform to do marketing and advertisement revenue later on once we start getting popular.
Perfect. Okay. Mark?
Okay, one of the key to this type of social networking stuff is virality. What do you have in terms of viral from user? You mentioned 6 million users. How many new users one user will generate, and have you measured these type of things?
We actually have Google ads as well as we have the Facebook advertisement. So we have trying to spread the word about what we're doing through Facebook. We have a Facebook fan page right now, and we're doing different things to get people attracted to us. So one thing we're actually doing right now is a scavenger hunt where people come and just come to our fan page, take a look at the product, and we're offering our tangible goods for free to certain people once we do it once every 2 weeks. So we're doing different things like that to get the variety, get it viral in terms of letting people understand. The other thing we're doing is with the partnership with American Greetings, it allows people to see our company through sharing free e-cards. And that really allows us to get a lot of visibility from their clientele, which is over, I think it was 21 million unique users, actually visits during Christmas and Valentine's.
Cool.
And now Jason.
Thank you. Nice work, Patrick. The 24 months are in long enough. What have been the biggest distractions that have threatened to pull you off target or off course?
No one, this is my fourth startup, and just like you can never plan. You need to be able to and don't quit. And one thing we have a platform that, and one of the things we designed in the platform was the ability to easily pivot to a different demand. So basically what happens is, let's say our release with ISS, we expected a lot more, like everything else. You were on a really big push, 3 million users using our platform, and it didn't go quite the way we thought it was going to go, and so we decided to do a pivot on Claim Your Star, and we did that within 4 months. And so we're able to rapidly be able to change direction if need be with the same platform. And I think that was the reason why we're still here after 3 years.
Excellent. Well, Eve, would you like to move into the next segment? And just to explain to Jason and our viewers at home that she's going to give a little bit of a feedback and a score from 0 to 5.0. Fractions are allowed. And go.
I wonder if I should put on my Boston accent for this one. The only things that the question came up, I didn't have a chance to, I would have wanted to know, is there competition? Can you protect this? Because nobody can really own the stars of the Milky Way. So how hard would it be for someone else to come in and do this sort of thing? So you did mention patents that you own. I didn't get quite if they were relevant to this. I never did hear your company name. I think you might have said it at the end there, Claim Your Star. So I didn't catch up, but it would be good to have that in the presentation. So protection. And it came out that you've been running 3 years. That's pretty impressive, and how close you are to being revenue positive. But I like it. It sounds interesting. I got to start somewhere, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a 4.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. Aksar?
It's very what you're doing is interesting. I'm not sure I fully understand from your presentation what problem you're actually solving. I think it's something that's nice to have, and I like what you're doing, but that's something that's I'm concerned about. The other thing is that you mentioned that it's social. This thing is social, but maybe there's a band name behind it, but I haven't been able to find you guys on Facebook yet. I've looked for the last couple of minutes, so I sort of not really
Let's get
sure
your score, Axar.
4.0.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And Mark.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
No? Hello?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
I can hear you. I can hear you.
So, same comment as I couldn't hear the name of the company, which I think is, should come up earlier in the presentation. I did not hear anything about the team in the presentation. So from a presentation perspective, I think it was a little, it needs to be worked on. I actually saw the first presentation. I thought it was better the first time around than this time around. That's feedback. On the business side, I really like the concept. I'm a little concerned with the idea that there's been 20 million visitors on the website, only 6,000 signups, and my experience with these type of things is either the service takes or doesn't take, but if it doesn't, then it seems there's a problem, that something needs to be fixed in what has been done so far. Maybe user experience is not
what's your
or
score?
something, but it feels to me like it's been tried and failed and no what, right? So
Okay.
so the score would be 3.5.
Yeah. 3.5. Okay, and Jason, thank you.
Hey everyone, going last is always the easy one to pick up the pieces. Patrick, I got to score you pretty low on the presentation just because of the format, and I didn't get to see the first one. I think there's some things that you could do very quickly to raise that. So I'm going to give a 2 on the presentation. As far as the information, what stuck out to me was the 500K and the 4X. I don't know how interesting that's going to be to a lot of the people out there. And I really appreciated you stepping in with the ability of explaining that lean approach, the test it, model it, work it, pivot if we need. So I'm going to give a 3 to the pitch.
Well, let's see. That's a 3 and a 2.
And a 2.
So
okay.
we can't do 2 scores, so we'll call it a 2.5, eh?
So, okay. So
and,
overall.
Okay.
Yeah, overall 2.5. Okay.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Good.
We're going to move on to our next startup company. Don't you just love having somebody who's got a scavenger hunt limited to the Milky Way galaxy? I mean, that's going to be a long game. Now, I take it from the napkins that I'm getting that we're going next of Crowd Salesforce. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Ken Gora,
Hello,
I remember
Ken.
that guy.
Hey.
How are you, Ken? Let's see if we
Good,
can
I'm
get some video from you.
Trying to get my, there we go.
Okay, so far we've got audio, no video, but we can try the old trick. Do we have enough room for him? And here, I see it starting to blink. He went to Avatar, now he's going to come back as video. I betcha. Judges, thank you so much for your patience. You guys are awesome.
You're wonderful.
And those of you who are viewing at home or in space or in other galaxies, you're probably already very offended. I mean, if someone's watching from another galaxy and hears us say, well, everyone can relate to the Milky Way galaxy, they're going to be upset. So Ken, did you try the trick where you cut out to Avatar and then come back in with video?
I see me as video. Does everyone else see that?
Okay. Well, you do me a favor, Ken. Go to the gear at the top of your conference window. Click on that. Take your video settings, go to Avatar, and then go from Avatar back to video. Sometimes that jump starts the whole thing. It's a little magic trick we learned in the war, in the Wizard War. Okay, he's doing it. I can tell. I can feel it in my cybertronic ears.
I see me as video. Do other people?
Oh, no, we don't. Ken, did you hear the trick that I just described?
Yeah, I just tried that. I don't know what
Another thing the judges could do is also, turn off their videos that will lower the bandwidth overall.
No, judges don't have to do that.
XR, do you see?
Greg, have you cut down the number of videos enough that he can come in? You know, one assumption that we make in these startups is that science is our friend. Sometimes science is our friend. But sometimes it is a friend to be feared.
I've always had the video of the other presentations. I'm not sure why it's not. Nobody sees me, is it correct?
That is correct, and we've got a couple of very, very smart people with their shoulders hunched up to their ears working on this. In fact, I think I see blood coming out of Greg's nose. Just okay. Ken, I hate to do it to you, buddy, but can you give your presentation audio only?
I can do that, but I brought these great audio visuals because I wanted to listen to your...
Well,
that's all right.
There's no way to cut out somebody else's video?
Yeah,
like
there's no way we can cut somebody else out?
Cut out Axar?
I see Jason's hand. That was nice enough.
Yes, cut out a bunch of judges. We don't need judges.
For sure,
right now.
Axar. I mean, he doesn't mind. He's right up there.
Yeah.
And we'll bring him back when he's ready.
Okay. Ken, try the trick one more time, please. Oh, no, we got him. We got him. Wait. Now that's Jason you've got in the big picture. Oh, no, Ken. Yeah, beautiful, Ken.
Yes.
It's been so long since we've seen you, and now we see you.
I see everybody.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Please, Ken Gora of Crowd Salesforce, take it away. You have 2 minutes to give your presentation. Go.
Thanks, George. I own another startup that's in this contest, and what that startup does is we make sales for companies. And I think you'll agree that the most priority for every company is companies need sales. And what we do in Crowd Salesforce is the crowd brings them sales. They bring their experience, they bring their contacts, they bring their time, and the companies only have to pay for results. So we've got a company from Australia that wants us to sell these speakers around the United States and this cell phone reminder. We've got technology companies that want us to drive revenue and new accounts to them. So what this really is it's like the Match.com between companies who want sales, especially small companies, matched up with thousands of salespeople across the United States. And it's all done through technology where they can contact each other. We manage the sales force, and we manage the commissions and the fees paid and make it easy for both parties. What I'm looking for is investment money for the technology to put this together on the back end. I've already got a waiting list of companies because what company doesn't want sales when all they have to do is pay for performance?
Okay.
Great, and you're 30 seconds under the clock. We could use those 30 seconds.
Yes.
Cindy, pick a judge.
Go ahead, Eve.
So this is a totally separate company from the sales contest. This is, so do you manage, or do you actually have like a, do you pay directly to folks and manage like
and no way of
the
so I went to the previous
employment
chat room we'd been in.
Yeah, Eve,
empty. Late, went to the other room. They just started, and then, oh, come back to you. I've been emailing the guy since way before.
Hearing some other audio.
We're hearing some other
anyway,
audio.
this is more.
So you've got this money.
Someone talking about a chat room.
Cash
We've got some, get on the headphones and listen. There's another voice leaking in.
It's Ian person, maybe.
Maybe it's from Ian.
Yeah.
Perhaps?
Can we mute Ian in the?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
And
Sorry,
go
Ken.
ahead, Ken. Sorry.
Sure. Eve, in answer to your question, this is a separate startup from the other company, and it's evolved because there's so many companies that are contacting us that want sales, and maybe they don't want to be in the sales contest. So this is a way where they can sign on, find salespeople, and salespeople drive them revenue across the United States.
So you pay them directly?
And yes,
Okay.
Yeah, and we would help manage that process.
Okay.
Mark, you want to go next?
Yes, I have questions. Typically, selling products requires being informed on what these products do and learn about these products. So from what you're saying, the sales guys will have to do that work ahead of time without really being sure that they can sell the products. How do you expect this to happen?
One of two ways. The companies can choose to do a WebEx video training, similar like we have here, where 18 or 25 or 30 salespeople log on and they're trained online about the products or the application or the app. Or the second thing is they can have, the company can pre-record video training seminars that their sales force can log in and get that training.
Thanks. Jason?
Awesome. Hey, Ken, Jason here. What are you looking for? What's the next step for you from an investment or an advising standpoint?
Great question. I already have a waiting list of companies that want to do this and access to over 1,000 resumes because I've been in recruiting for years. What I'm looking for is investment money to hire the software people to put this back-end matching system, kind of like an eBay or kind of like a Bounty Jobs software if you've ever seen that site. So I'm looking for that and the money to hire the customer service people that are going to track all the orders and accounts.
Okay. Any idea what that number is? How many zeros after the number?
Not much to get started because, well, the answer is about $80,000.
Okay. All right. And go ahead, Axar. He's muted, I think. Are you still muted, Axar?
Did we get Axar's voice back?
Yeah, we did not.
He popped in, pointed at something on the computer, and popped out again.
All right.
He looks frozen to me.
Yep.
See him up there? No, he's not. I'll go run up and ask him.
Yeah, and if he can't, bring him down to our camera if he's not working technologically. Axar is in Australia right now, but fortunately, Cindy has superpowers and can beam herself over there in mere seconds. He was up there. Axar, on the other hand, has the superpower of appearing perfectly still while not being there. All right.
Okay.
Moving on.
Let's get our judges' votes.
Yeah, let's get the scores going on here. Let's start again with.
Oh, here he is.
I'm back.
Oh, here he is.
Come on over here, Axar.
Okay, I think my voice is out. Okay, my only question was the follling.
No, come join us.
He's all right. He's all right.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My only question was, if you are having all these companies that are interested in working with you, and you only need, $80,000. It's not a very large sum of money. My question is, why haven't you tried raising this money from the companies that are trying to work with you?
In our other startup, we earn our fees from the companies that we get sales from. And we're expanding that company, so that revenue is tied up. The other companies that would be in crowd sales force, they're paying based on performance. They're not paying on the front end, so that they have no risk, and that's why they're eager to join up.
Yeah, but that's not my question. My question is, why don't you raise investment from them? Not fees, not, pay for performance, but pure investment for your infrastructure. If these companies want to work with you and you have all these contacts, they probably see your company as a way to increase their revenue, increase their money. So it's very often that a company like that invests in a startup that's trying to help them. So have you ever considered, and have you had any success trying to raise money from them?
I've not considered it, and that's not a bad idea. And we're crowd sales force. We almost could use a crowdfunding way to get money a little bit from all of our prospective customers and clients. So that's not a bad idea, Axar. Thank you.
Cool.
Good.
All right. Well, let's go through again and see if we can get some scores from 0 to 5 out of our judges. Eve, please begin.
My biggest concern is that there are so many really good matching services out there, and yours has a whole different tack, and you're more of an agency. But I would sort of address kind of that competitional aspect. It's good. It was explainable. You've got customers waiting. That's always a good thing. I'd rather see it built, but all right. So I'm going to give a 4.3.
All right.
Thanks. Mark?
Okay, I like the pitch presentation. It was very good. I would have liked to hear in there the fact that you have 1,000 lined up on one side and several companies lined on the other side. Makes it even more powerful, I would think. From the business perspective, I'm still not convinced by the idea, but I'm curious to see how it could work. So I would be interested in seeing it built. Actually, my concern would be that the 1,000 people you have up are people that have no other things to do than learn new products and try to sell, because they're that means they're not busy doing something else, which maybe the quality is not as good. The company on the other side are not willing to invest. They want the free stuff. So I'm worried that this ecosystem may not be as healthy as it should be. But overall, I think it's it's a good idea worth trying. So I would give it a 3.5.
Okay.
Thank you. I think this moves us to Jason.
Hey everybody, Jason here. So I'll start with a score of a 3.5 along with Mark. I had written that down. And my concerns are, one that I think the big gorilla in the room is you've got the word Salesforce in your company name. So I'm a little concerned about what that might do as far as who else would be interested in preserving that. And then the return on that 80K, I didn't hear that promoted from you. So if that investment were to come in, whether it's from Axar, your idea of getting the lineup of customers to fund that, or a private, an angel or someone. On the plus side of this, I think this whole this falls in suit with the solo mo, right? The social, local, mobile. I'd be really interested in what the kind of serendipitous or the easy access, as soon as someone has something to sell, how quickly could that get into the system, and then a crowd surrounded in order to bring that to market pretty quick. I'm thinking to myself, like, being at South by Southwest conference, we got 15,000 people, and you immediately equip people with something to sell, the information to sell that, the product that's lined up, and all of a sudden that organization, whoever bought that service from you, is excited.
Thanks,
Yes.
Jason. Axar?
Yeah, it sounds very interesting to me too. I like what I like about it is the fact that you come from this business, you have people lined up who want to work with you. I am a little concerned, of course, that you're doing 2 startups. Usually there can only be one, unless you have millions and millions of dollars and you're able to delegate that and invest your own money. So I would say you want to really focus on one and do really, really good at it, and not 2. And I give this a 3.5.
Okay.
Thank you.
I really that's funny. The whole time I just assumed that Ken did have millions and millions of dollars. He just looks like that kind of guy to me. I don't know why you would assume he doesn't. All right, that's fantastic, Axar. So Ken, it's good to see you again, and I look forward to the next time we get to see you. That's Ken from Crowd Salesforce, and let's move on to our next contestant, who it looks like on this napkin.
At Flare Code.
We use napkins here in the future. The network
worry,
is fast, but napkins are higher resolution.
We don't need to recycle. We reuse them.
And we have trance music that writes itself. Look.
Yes.
Where's my music?
Really short.
Where's my music? Do I have my music? Yeah.
And hit it. Ian's coming up there. We can see him. He's got his cam going.
Are they getting the music?
Hi, Ian. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Ian?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Okay.
I'm not getting that I'm sending video right now.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we've got a trick that we
can
do
hear you.
sometimes. Have you kicked everyone you can out of the chat room, Greg? Okay. We have a little voodoo that we do sometimes. Ian, if you could try something for me, go to your. In fact, our judges have heard it so many times they could probably recite it for us. Go to your gear icon at the top of your screen. Click out. Click on that. Go to your video settings. Move your video back to avatar. Then go from avatar back to video, and sometimes that provides a little extra kickstart to the video. And this looks promising. Okay, we see the avatar.
Right, I'm switching it back to video now. Just 1 second.
Right. This is gonna be so great.
Here we go.
Almost.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, yeah, it doesn't look good here.
I'm thinking it might be something wrong with my webcam.
You have a different webcam
Well,
setting?
I'm wearing a green sweater, Argyle, and I have brown, about ear length hair. So, and I use my hands a lot when I talk. So imagine that.
Okay, we're all picturing that.
Okay.
All right, you have 2
minutes.
minutes to impress us, Green Sweater Man. Go.
I like that sound.
All
we
right.
are listening, Ian.
Here I go.
Start.
Hi, my name is Ian Bowman Henderson, and I'm going to talk to you about Flare Code. Flare Code is a tool for creating a new kind of mobile website which is so simple and so fast that sites can now be created for a single event or campaign or location and then literally thrown away without any sense of waste on the part of the purchaser. So how we do this is, instead of asking users to create new content every time they want a new site, which is actually the most time-consuming part of developing a web presence now that the code aspect is so easy, instead of that, we allow them to take existing content that they have all over the web, be it Facebook feeds, blog feeds, RSS, which can be anything from YouTube all the way up to an eBay feed, Twitter, and YouTube channels. We take that content and automatically generate these self-updating mobile websites that people can comment on with text and photos. And then we give them the owner a QR code to promote that site in the real world. So as a business-to-consumer solution, Flare Code lets small businesses and even individuals achieve a mobile presence at a small fraction of the previous cost and without any knowledge of development and without having to devote any of their own time to produce new content, meaning it's not asking people to devote any more of their hard-working business running time to working on the web. And then we give them a QR code to ensure that their online content is integrated into that offline moment of truth when a consumer actually cares what they tweet about or blog about. And then on the other side, as a business-to-business solution, Flare Code allows marketing and PR firms to offer quality mobile websites to their clients through a white label format at about 1,000 times markup on price without having to tie up their own invaluable resources of their developers. So we've already worked with direct mail campaigns, newspapers, publications, museums, marketing firms, promotions firms, bands, and magazines, and we've been very successful in optioning custom development of the product so that each new feature yields at least a flagship entry into the new vertical, if not a vendor partner.
Ian, that was your 2 minutes.
Perfect.
Fabulous.
Cindy, pick someone.
Let's go to Mark.
Hello. Thank you for the presentation. Can you clarify the revenue model, please?
Yes. So there's 2 different revenue models. There is basically our flarecode.com website where people can build websites and then choose premium features like polls, letting people generate sales leads and save them to a database, analytics, changing what the site looked like. And those things can all be bought a la carte or on a subscription. But then on the other side, we have a white label product that we basically get vendors in different verticals to resell Flare codes at a revenue sharing percentage.
All right. Let's go to Jason next.
Current competition. Who's out there doing something that someone would have to choose between you and somebody else?
Yeah, so there's basically two sides to the current competition. You have the very low level, like super fast, give me a QR code and a mobile site type businesses. And I think we're really crushing them because they ask you to put in a credit card number before you can get started, and then they charge you per views on your site, which is totally the opposite of what you're trying to accomplish. And we don't ask you to put in a credit card number until you're actually buying a premium feature. So there's a much lower barrier to entry on the easy side. And then on the bigger side, companies that are doing custom, fast mobile website development, we really are we're not focused on making people's, the Pepsi.mobile.com website. What we are a great solution for is if Pepsi wants 100 websites, all with a very small difference, we can allow them to do that without producing any new content. So we can let them make sites for every store in a city that sells cans of Pepsi in the time it would take them to make that one mobile.pepsi.com domain through a bigger, more customizable website generation tool.
Well,
And then 12 months from now, what will you look back on and say what we really needed was?
Yeah, 18 to 22 months from now, I will look back on right now and say that what we really needed was a UX designer, because here's the thing, we have a great UI designer, and the co-founders and I are writers, so we're very capable of revising the process and going through and seeing where it isn't on message, but we're also very busy, and it would be great if we could have someone that has the experience to just cut that big chunk of time out of our lives.
Awesome, thanks.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Let's move to Aksar.
Aksar!
Wait, don't I get a grade?
You
Not
will.
yet.
Patience.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
So my one question was, what do you think in terms of social media? Do you plan to do something similar for Facebook pages, Facebook groups, stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is,
so
for
yeah,
example,
we are very heavily integrated with social media.
yeah, essentially, a lot of people, create pages for their business, for individual cities, and and about 50% of the traffic nowadays does to social media sites. So will your technology also let me create multiple Facebook pages? Or is that something just really different?
We do have an API for you to integrate Flare codes right onto your existing Facebook page, yes. So you should be able to take what you make on a Flare code, and in a few months, once we have our API totally ready to roll out, it's not documented right now, you can put that as an element on your Facebook page.
Thanks. All right, Eve, do you have something to say? Oh.
Sort of answering the broader question about social, though, a big difference between us and all of our competitors is that all of our code sites are networked together. So you see the comments on the side, those are from Flare code users. You click that user, you see all their codes. You can respond to them as a person. Basically, we're not just building all these individual sites, we're building a user base of people willing to check out mobile content. And I think that is going to be a valuable social tool going forward.
And let's go to Eve.
Sorry, just last question. How many users do you guys have now?
Okay.
What's the traction?
Well, we just launched the builder in February, and right now I believe we have 500 Flare codes that have been created. And our daily hits are not very high, honestly, because we haven't really publicized ourselves. but somewhere in the range of a couple hundred. And we're adding probably 50 new codes a month, but we haven't really tried to hit our stride in adding new codes yet, because every time we add a new feature, we're penetrating a new goal. So ideally, we're multiplying that.
Axar,
sorry,
you went one question too long.
We gotta go to Eve.
Is this only accessible by a QR code, or do people have like a friendly website as well? And if I understand this correctly, is it just scraping all your social media already into sort of one collectible RSS feed or something, or is it, because you said it just scrapes existing content, so just is it an aggregation of like, here's my Facebook feed and Twitter feed and LinkedIn feed or whatever other feeds you might have? So those are my quick questions.
Okay. I'm going to answer your second question first and then ask you to repeat the first one.
Make it quick.
The sites are made up of, you choose the elements that you want on the page. So you choose to put on your Twitter feed. You type in Twitter, that appears there. You choose to type in your Facebook, you type in your Facebook name, it appears there, alongside any other stream content you'd like to add or premium features. It doesn't mix them all together. It puts it into a grid view like a lot of typical apps. Your first question was about whether it's only a mobile website accessible via QR code. It has a unique URL. If you go there from a mobile phone, you'll get there, whether you scan a code or not. But more importantly, these sites are also added as a desktop website as well. So we're giving you SEO for that page. We're giving you the ability to Google for that page. And it's not going to look like a mobile website. There's a unique mobile view and a unique desktop view, both of which reflect the strengths and merits of those platforms.
Oh, wonderful. It's so nice to hear all these answers. Let's move right to our feedback, and let's make it a little quicker than usual because we went over on questions. Go ahead with the feedback. Mark.
Okay. I mean, good presentation. It was clearly spelled out what the product does, etc. So on that one, that was good. On the business side, actually, I looked at the website while we were talking, and I have more questions now, but that'll be later, I guess. It sounds interesting. At this point, I would give it a 3.
Okay.
Thank you.
And go ahead, Axar.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. You guys need some work on your user experience on the website to sort of get it up to some sort of standard where it looks very nice and very appealing to use. I'm also a little concerned about it creating a separate social network versus trying to put the information into something that's accessible to everyone like Facebook. I give you guys a 4.2.
Okay, and Jason?
I'm going to score this a 3.5, and the concern I have is over, some of the numbers. I need you to have more ready access. The numbers are everything. So when I hear, we've got about 500 codes, we're adding about 50 a month, we've got a range of a couple hundred users, I get a little worried because my tendency is to want to cut those by 50%. And then the other concern I have is I'm not quite sure what you need. I really, on the plus side of the presentation, I want to acknowledge you big time, Ian, for the transparency of the UX need. And I just really want to encourage you to move. It looks to me to be an interesting idea.
You get the feeling that startups are people too, don't you? Eve, give us a score and some feedback.
I would have liked to see more on the differentiation. I would have had a bunch more questions also. I don't know what the difference is between this and my just going to Weebly and creating a site in a couple minutes there as well. So I would have wanted to know more about, I know that there's quick website creation competition that is free or freemium. I have a free Weebly site myself. So we want to hear more about that. And I'm still having a hard time picturing what this thing looks like. So I know we don't have the visual on you, but I sure would have liked to have seen what it looked like so I can get a better idea. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4.
A 4.
Wonderful.
Right.
Well, Ian, thanks. You really did a great job.
Thank you, judges. Wonderful insights. And it looks like we have Christian.
Thank you very much. Yep, have a great day.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, so everybody get your snacks in front of you, but
And get
hopefully you won't
ready.
need them.
We're going to Christian. Across the pond, yes? Do we have?
Okay, we got
He's
the
coming
icon.
in. My news is.
Do you hear me?
Oh
Yes!
my gosh, you sound great.
Say 3 sentences so we can test it.
Hi, do you hear me? I'm here from My News Is. I go on.
We have never had anybody sound as good as you do right now, Christian.
Please go
on. Begin now.
Hi, I'm from My News Is. Basically, My News Is selects for you the most important news about the topics that interest you. For now, we are developing a test version where you can input your topics that you are interested in, and then you get the most important news about these topics. It's important to note that I said the most important news because other services that are out there maybe just selects you from your topics and news, but don't make any differentiation about is this news important to you or is it not important. What we at My News are trying is to identify what the really most important news is, looking at all the Facebook data, what is shared by your friends and by other peoples, and a lot of other signals, and try to really take out the most important news. And the other point I want to point out is we try to do this extremely user-friendly. It has not to be complicated, just personalized news that's out there from different years. Just we have RSS reader a lot of years ago coming out, but just you have to search your feed going to a website. It's just very complicated for average user to do this. We at My News, it's just one click ideally, maybe just connect with Facebook and you start getting a personalized news experience. Then it became better. The more you use it, we can get more information about it and become better. Now, as I said before, it's a few months we are working on this. We have a test version online. Now we are looking maybe for seed rounders to speed up development and then make a great launch this summer. Thank you for your attention. I hope you heard it all. This My News Is.
Thank you so much,
Perfect.
Christian.
I think that the practice must have helped you, Christian. It was a wonderful pitch, and it was even 15 seconds short of the time. Let's start our questions with Jason this time.
Yeah.
How do you make money, and what funding needs do you see for this development?
Where you get money with target advertising. This will be the main. Then we are trying a lot of different things now. We will test even do a freemium model, and maybe sell the iPad app, and but the main goal will be premium targeted advertising, because we know really interested about the user, not just the social demographic data, because maybe log in with Facebook, but we deeply know what is the user interested in. If he interested in golf, we can make an ad for golf equipment, and it will be very valuable for advertiser to do this.
Okay. And funding needs?
I'm thinking we are now looking for 2 million funding, just to have more developers on the team. But most of it will be to invest in marketing and to promote our brand.
Thank you.
Cool. Axar? Axar, are you ready to rock?
Sorry, keep turning off my mic. My question is, who are your main competitors?
Just different competitors, just a traditional maybe news aggregator, just like Google News, Yahoo News, and then there are a lot of different newer companies that are very successful coming out, like the iPad app like Flipboard or Zeit, but just this you have only on the iPad, and we have an experience on all devices. And they have even some products on the web, but they are just done not very good, and but the main famous, I would say, Flipboard and Zeit. Just Flipboard, I don't see a lot of personalization in it. They came out with these cover stories now, but I tried it out and just don't do a great job. do a quite good job, but it's just doing in some areas. It's not doing in every topic areas. It's very good.
We'll have you on as a judge for Flipboard later.
Yeah. And Eve, go ahead.
Do you have any users yet? Have you done a beta? Have you gotten any user feedback?
Yes, we are just since February. We have this test version, and now we have 1,500 test users that giving us feedback every day, and just we're trying different things. We tried out a Facebook app and just seeing what will be the best to improve this, and just we can maybe in the end we will do completely different what the initial idea is. We will just want to move very strong on the need of the users and move accordingly to this.
All right, and Mark, go ahead.
Okay, could you talk a little more about the team and who's involved in this business? What kind of experience there is built into the system?
Yes, mainly for now, just I'm the only one full-time on it. I did a small web startup a few years ago, but I have not a really developer background for me. I just self-learned it on myself, and then I have MBA. I just finished last year an MBA and worked in a publishing company where I came up with this idea. Because I was always searching for news about acquiring new companies, and because I was valuing acquiring new companies for this publishing company, and I saw something in the content business that could make more valuable for a publishing company. But I then came out with the idea it has to be independent. It cannot build in a big company. It has to be a small startup. I have other 3 people on the team. Just one on the marketing side, and then I have other 2 developers, but they're just working part-time, working still full-time on their job.
Okay, great. And let's go to scoring.
All right. Yeah, scoring, and we'll start with Jason, right?
I was going to give a solid 3, 2. My concern side is the competition that you've shared a little bit about, and the delta between where you are and how much you need is a little bit of a concern for me. On the plus side, I think being able to separate out the signal and the noise of serving up for people what they're interested in when they're interested in it. You know, I'm a huge Google alert user. And as I was cruising around your website, I see this as a potential of serving me up information that's right now, and it's only the best. Yes. Good luck.
Thank you.
And Aksar.
Yeah, I think what you're doing is very interesting. There's a lot of stuff here. Main concerns that I had were that you're definitely facing a lot of competition. And I think that your biggest differentiator is not necessarily having it on all platforms, but what Jason said, which was allowing you to filter. That's a lot bigger. It's a lot of a bigger thing. Plus, people like Flipboard, they can all switch over to your platform if they wanted to. They have more engineers than you. My other concern was that you are raising a lot of money. For where you are, it seems like, and that you don't have other people on board with you yet who are full-time. It's investors invest in 3 things. Idea being one of them, traction being the other one, and the third one having technical co-founders who are committed. So that's and I'll give you a 3.5.
And Eve, can we hear from you?
As with the others, I'm very worried about the competition here. Even if yours is the best thing since sliced bread and it's going to solve everybody's news noise problems, you're going to have to fight through Yahoo News and Google News and your local news and Facebook and all the things that people are already used to. So you're going to have to overcome a lot of noise yourself. So if you have a plan for that, I think you should certainly talk about that. I agree about the team. and that is an awful lot to ask for. I agree with all the things the other judges have said, absolutely. I'm also going to give it a 3.5.
3.5. Wow, I didn't know bread came in slices.
And Mark, can we hear from you?
Okay, again, it's an interesting topic. Definitely a lot of people are working on trying to figure out how to bring better news to their audience. So it's a great area to be in. Very crowded, however. Two services that come into mind when I hear what you're describing is, news.me is already sending me news, filtered from my social networks and stuff. There's also a service called iCurrents, which is, could be described exactly how you worded it. It takes into account what I'm interested in and let me vote up or down when they propose news to me, so that they can fine tune the stuff. So there's a lot of choices already. I have concern about the team. It seems to me that in order to be successful with this, you would need some guy who's a PhD in social science or semantic or something. The background I've heard is a little light for being successful. You point your differentiator as being able to provide better news, better recommendations, but in order to provide that, you need strong engine in the back end to figure that out.
One of these engineers had done a lot of work on this field, and now it's just working on part-time.
We're out of time for the scores. We need your score, Mark.
Okay. So my score would be a 2.5 at this point.
2.5. Okay. Right. I really want to give you a lot of credit, Christian, for all the effort that you went to. And evidently you found the best connection in all of, you're in Switzerland, did you say?
Yes, I'm Switzerland.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much for going through all this, and thanks to the judges too. Greg, do we have someone else to finish out? We're done. Okay, well, thanks everybody. We're going to wind up this webcast. Remember, this is startupidol.com, Agora startupidol.com, and we are hoping, and we will continue in 5 minutes, and we will have a wrap-up show at 5:30.
At 5:30.
That's what it says on this random access, high resolution, physical, nearly medium, this virtual reality. And the winners will be announced in the wrap-up show.
Yes, at 5:30 the winners will be announced. Thank you so much. We'll see you in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, everybody. Judges, will you please switch over to room B? Room B. But the B is silent. It's pronounced room. Room B.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
That was great, Cindy.
Okay, good.